welcome. You're watching Sports Buzz, where we bring you all that's making news in the world of sports. I'm Samriddhi Goyal. Let's get started. India is up against Australia in the second and final warm-up match of the ICC T20 World Cup. Australia wins the toss, chooses to bat first. Bangladesh wins the Battle of the Honour in the T20 World Cup qualifier match, defeating Oman by 26 runs, while Scotland beats Papua New Guinea by 17 runs to keep the hopes of reaching the last 12 alive. In Champions League, 2 goals from Mohamed Salah helped Liverpool beat Atletico Madrid, a third win for Liverpool. Manchester City beat Club Brugge and Paris Saint-Germain beat RB Leipzig 3-2 in a thrilling match. The Champions League action continues today with Barcelona facing DYNAMO Kyiv and Chelsea up against MALMÖ. First up, all the sporting action from the world of cricket. India is up against Australia in their second warm-up match of the T20 World Cup 2021 at the ICC Academy ground in Dubai. Now, both the teams enter this match on the back of wins in their previous games. Australia won the toss and chose to bat first, and till the last reports came in, Australia were at 18 for the loss of 3 wickets. Scotland are only 1 win away from the qualifying for the Super 12 stage of the Men's T20 World Cup after claiming a second victory in 3 days. Now, Scotland, who shocked Bangladesh on the opening day of the tournament, beat Papua New Guinea by 70 runs in Oman. Scotland will progress as winners of the Group B if they beat Oman tomorrow. Meanwhile, with a superb bowling show from Mustafizur Rahman and Shakib, Bangladesh defeated Oman in their second match of the T20 World Cup 2021 at Al Amirat Cricket Ground yesterday. And this was a must-win game for Group B favourites Bangladesh to stay alive in the tournament, as Oman and Scotland were at the top 2 spots in the group. Jatinder Singh top scored for Oman with his 40-run knock, but no other batter looked in a good touch against Bangladesh bowlers. Earlier, while batting first, Bangladesh were bundled out for 153 runs in 20 overs as Oman's Bilal Khan returned with the figures of 3 for 18. Fayaz Butt also took 3 wickets. Mohammad Naeem, 64, top scored for Bangladesh and added 80 runs, with Shakib Al Hassan 42 for the 3rd wicket. Now, Bangladesh with 2 points are still at the 3rd spot in the Group B points table, while Scotland are leading with 4 points. Well, moving on to badminton, the first day of the 5-day BWF World Tour Super 1000 badminton tournament turned out to be a fruitful one for the Indian shuttlers. The majority of Indian players posted wins to move up in Denmark Open. Star Indian shuttler PV Sindhu made a comeback after winning the bronze medal at the Tokyo Olympics. Sindhu did not disappoint her fans on the opening day of the Victor Denmark Open with a quick-fire victory in the women's singles first round. 4th seed made light work of Neslihan Yigit of Turkey with a commanding 21-12, 21-10 victory in exactly half an hour. Sindhu will now lock horns with Thailand's Busanan Ongbamrung Fan for a place in the quarterfinals today. In men's singles, a winner of the 2017 Denmark Open, Kidambi Srikanth defeated compatriot B. Sai Praneeth 21-14, 21-11 in 30 minutes. With the win, Srikanth improved the head-to-head record to 6-3 against his regular practice partner Sai Praneeth, the world number 15. Srikanth had won Denmark Open in 2017. World number 14, Srikanth will now take on world number 1 Kento Momota of Japan in the second round today. Also, Sameer Verma shocked higher-ranked Thailand's world number 21 Kunlavut Biditsan 21-17, 21-14 in 42 minutes. while number 28 Samir is likely to square off against third seed Anders Antonsen of Denmark in the second round. Indian doubles players also had a good day. World number 7 Satvik Sairaj Rankireddy and Chirag Shetty thumped the English pair of Callum Hemming and Stephen Stallwood 23-21, 21-15 in their first round outing. And now some news from the Champions League. Mohamed Salah netted a double as Liverpool secured a 3-2 victory over Atletico Madrid, whose forward Antoine Griezmann also scored twice but was sent off in a gripping Champions League clash on Tuesday. Salah opened the scoring with a deflected effort in the 8th minute and Naby Keita added a second with a thunderous volley 5 minutes later as Liverpool looked set to crush Diego Simeone's side. The win kept Liverpool top in Group B on 9 points, 5 ahead of second place Atletico and Porto in third, with AC Milan pointless at the foot of the table. And there's a lot more action from the world of soccer in our next report, the latest updates from the Champions League.
Riyad Mahrez scored twice and Cole Palmer got his first Champions League goal for Manchester City as Pep Guardiola's side put in a super performance to sweep aside Belgian side Club Brugge. The visitors were slick and confident from start to finish as they moved to within 1 point of Group A leaders Paris Saint-Germain with their second win in the competition. Paris Saint-Germain's Kylian Mbappe and Lionel Messi found their groove as they inspired their side to a 3-2 comeback victory at home to RB Leipzig in a Champions League thriller on Tuesday. Mbappe was the first to strike and Messi had the France forward to thank for his second half double after the League One side had fallen 2-1 behind following goals by Andres Silva and Nordi either side of the interval. The result left PSG top of Group A with 7 points from 3 games, one ahead of Manchester City, who demolished Club Brugge 5-1 away earlier in the night, while Leipzig remained pointless. Vinicius Jr. scored 2 goals, including a brilliant solo effort as Real Madrid thrashed Shakhtar Donetsk in the Champions League. An own goal by Sergei Krivtsov gave Real a 1-goal lead in the break. Vinicius scored twice in 5 minutes after the restart, sweeping in from close range before beating 3 players to add a brilliant third. Rodrigo swept in Vinicius's pass before Karim Benzema slid home late on. The 21-year-old has now scored 7 goals in the 9 appearances for Real in all competitions. Victory means Real are second in Group D, level on 6 points with leaders FC Sheriff, who lost 3-1 at home to Inter Milan. AC Milan fell to their third successive group stage defeat on their return to the Champions League with a 1-0 loss away to FC Porto. A goal from Luis Diaz is all that separated the sides as the Estadio do Dragão and Stefano Pioli's men have a mountain to climb if they are to reach the knockout stages. Ajax surged past Borussia Dortmund 4-0 on Tuesday to take a big step towards advancing to the Champions League knockout stage for the first time since the Dutch club reached the semi-finals 3 seasons ago. A third win from 3 games gives Ajax a 3-point lead in Group C ahead of Dortmund, whose often unreliable defense couldn't cope with Ajax's smart movement of the ball. Sports Desk, DD India.
And the Champions League action continues in today's fixture. The Red Devils Manchester United will face Atalanta, who are leading Group F with 4 points. Chelsea will host MALMÖ in the third round of the Champions League group stage. Barcelona will be welcoming the Ukrainians DYNAMO KYIV for their match day 3 fixture of the UEFA Champions League. Red Bull Salzburg will be facing WOLFSBURG. In the third round of the group stage, Portugal's BENFICA will be up against Germany's Bayern Munich. Young Boys will be up against Villarreal, while Lille will be facing Seville. And finally, Zenit St. Petersburg will be locking horns with Juventus. Now, Bayern Munich will be without full-back Alphonso Davies and midfielder Leon Goretzka when they face Benfica in Lisbon for their Champions League Group E encounter. Goretzka is out with a cold, while Davies, also nursing a cold, will be given a break to avoid fatigue due to the German champions' busy schedule in the coming weeks, coach Julian Nagelsmann told reporters on Tuesday. However, Lucas Hernandez, facing a jail term in Madrid, is expected to feature. For Nagelsmann, whatever the lineup is, it is still important to maintain the level they showed in Sunday's 5-1 demolition of Bayer Leverkusen. The Bavarians scored 5 goals in 33 minutes between the 4th and the 37th minute, and in the first half to reclaim the top spot in the Bundesliga in an impressive fashion. Well, every game of sport faces a gender bias every now and then, and often we get some voices that pierce through this bias. Jill Ellis is one such voice. Ellis, a former World Cup winning coach, continues to raise her voice for female football at the biggest sporting platform. Jill Ellis, who is now working in an advisory role for FIFA and revamping the global soccer calendar, believes that there are not enough teams to play for it at the Olympics, and hence there isn't enough participation to properly showcase the women's side of the sport. More in our next report.
Former World Cup winning coach Jill Ellis, who is now working in an advisory role for FIFA and revamping the global soccer calendar, says not enough teams play at the Olympics for it to properly showcase the women's side of the sport. On Saturday, the International Olympic Committee said it wants to have more discussions over controversial plans by the world soccer's governing body to hold the World Cup every 2 years instead of every 4.
I look at that and say, I think I've already spoken to the fact that, we've had our World Cup final went head to head with 2 other Confederation finals on the men's side and came out ahead in the rankings. If it's not in the same calendar period, like June, July, I think we have enough, and we have to believe and trust that we have enough in our sport that we can have a big piece of the pie, that we don't have to sit in the corner. It's really about the lens you look through.
It added that the concerns related to the impact a World Cup every 2 years could have on other sports, players' welfare, and an increase of men's events impacting gender equality. Although the IOC's statement did not reference the potential impact on its own football competition, Ellis said more global exposure was needed for female footballers, and a 12-team Olympic tournament did not do that.
I look through the position of being a player and a coach that wants to see this go bigger. So I would say having more is sometimes you say more is less, but I actually think on this occasion, more access to every little girl to play this game, more visibility for our players to have a voice and get what they deserve. I don't see that as a negative. And as it relates to the Olympics, again, I've sort of said, when you don't have some of the best teams in the world there, I think that's not showcasing our sport to the level I think it could. And again, I'm not a political animal. I love the Olympics. I just think it's very, very limited in how many teams can access that tournament in terms of getting into it.
An IOC statement said that FIFA's proposals are set to be voted on in December by the 211 member associations of global soccer's governing body. But the plan has met with fierce criticism from a number of continental and national federations, players groups, as well as fans. Sports Desk, DD India.
The Olympic flame was officially handed over to representatives from China on Tuesday without the incident following protests that had disrupted the lighting ceremony the day before. Yu Zaiqing, the vice president of the Chinese Olympic Committee, accepted the torch from the International Olympic Committee member Spyros Kapralos at a ceremony in the Panathinaik Stadium in Athens. On Monday, human rights activists protested as the Beijing 2022 Olympic flame was lit at Greece's ancient Olympia just over 100 days before the start of the Games in February. Sharad Kumar won the bronze medal at the Tokyo Paralympics in the F42 category of the men's high jump event by clearing 1.83 meters, and Sharad started with a height of 1.73 meters and cleared 1.77 meters while he failed to clear 1.86 meters in his final attempt. So he took the bronze with his best attempt of 1.83 meters. Now the 29-year-old Sharad Kumar is from Motipur in Bihar and competes in the F42 lower limb, competing without prosthetics category of the men's high jump event. The world #2's training base is in Ukraine, and in an exclusive interaction with our correspondent Suchitra Bhardwaj, Sharad Kumar said he's looking forward to the eventful year ahead.
We have with us Sharad Kumar, who won bronze medal for India in high jump in Tokyo Paralympics. Sharad, Tokyo Paralympics has been a milestone when it comes to Indian para sports, Indian para athletes. How do you look at Tokyo Paralympics? What have they changed for the Indian para athletes, for Indian para sports?
I think firstly it started with the athletes changing it all, because Devendra Bhaiya, when he went in 2003 and now, he went on his own money. And now in 2021, we see everybody's under tops and everybody's having government support. There are so many MNCs coming. There are so many private sectors also coming for them. And the athletes have done the best job, because, they have always stood to their performance, irrespective to they had any support or not. And that came first as one medal, then Girisha as a medal. And then to 2016, we got Mariappa, Varun, Deepa Malik ma'am, Devendra Bhaiya again. So these four people have actually carried the baton, and they try to show how important Paralympics is, and that's when the recognition started. And everybody was so enthusiastic, like what Paralympics is, especially after seeing few of the events. And that, I think, motivated most of the people. And in that, very much physically challenged people came up. They took it as a passion, and now we have like so many medals. And I think that is the most, see, we might be saying that we have so much supports and all, but I think at the end of the day, it's the athletes who really worked hard, irrespective to what the circumstances were. See, we para-athletes go through a lot of difficulties. It is all stress, body figures, and like body doesn't support us in most of the times. So in that case also, these guys are going to the stadium every day. Imagine a person who's blind, getting away from home and then reaching the stadium. You see how many steps they have to go through, which is so uncertain, especially with the unplanned infrastructure, unplanned traffic, so crowded people, like, so all these things have made a difference, and yet these people are always there in the stadium. So this is one aspect we have to see, that how athletes are determined to prove themselves, and not, I wouldn't say it is 19 together, all are individual people who wanted to win and prove themselves, and that accumulatively came to be 19. In the future, I think in 2024 Paris, there's going to be so much, because para sports and Paralympics is in a evolving, and also a new revolution that started in the country with Neeraj Chopra's medal in Olympics. So it is in a very right direction right now. I feel like, yeah, it's just going to click now for most of us.
The felicitation ceremonies are still on. So how do you look at that? How important are the felicitation as a mark of, acknowledging the achievement?
I think this is where I'd like to differ. The central government has done a very tremendous job, right? All the athletes come and receive their money and time and everything. But there is some differences that other states governments are doing. Like some is giving too much of money and some is not. That is where the athletes, like someone's winning a bronze in another state is getting as much as a gold in one of the states. This has to be looked upon. This is where I think we have to step in and see that, it's an equal, this is not just for para-athletes, it's for Olympics too. You see how states need to understand how big this is, how big a medal is in the Olympics or the Paralympics. This has to be really recognized. See, most of the states are already trying to come in power with each other, but some that are lacking behind has to come up too. And yeah, felicitation, see, people say, why are you giving so much money to the athletes? And all these things, you need to provide them with facilities. Of course, see, medal deserves felicitation too. It's a reward that you get after. Why would you want to win a medal? Of course, you want to win for rewards too and make your nation proud. But that doesn't mean that, just give them the facilities. No, of course, we need financial dependence too. People think that, oh, these guys are getting so much money, but they don't see the background they come from. These all money will straight away go in building up houses for themselves, or a vehicle they take. So this is not something, see, most of them who are already speaking of a privileged life are already in the middle, but these people all coming from a low family. That needs economical support. And this is where the felicitation and the rewards are important. And in this, I would also say, like, the coaches, they are the ones who are the main backbone of them all. See, they are still there to, they still have to receive the rewards for like 2014 on. That has to be provided. You know, like, see, most of the Paralympic athletes, they are from very economically backward family. And who supports them first? It's always the coach or the pocket money. They come and they put in and they try to make up the athletes. But they need that back too. You can't just say that, you know, we'll just take and not give you anything. They need to get the rewards, and that has to be highlighted by the states. That is the first part.
If you speak for yourself, what has changed for you after Tokyo Paralympics?
For me, I would say nothing. Really nothing, because
The fame, the recognition, and your after medal, there was a satisfaction after getting the medal.
No, the reason I'm saying this is because I was admitted in AIMS after that directly. So I was in the hospital and I couldn't attend most of the events. I'm yet to get my felicitation from the Delhi government. I would say the recognition we got from the central government is what set the rhythm for the para-athletes in the country. I would surely vouch and say that if the central government didn't take it, nobody would have known who the para-athletes are. So of course, hats off to them for what they've done. And yes, like, the medal is a bronze, but it's a gold for me, especially with the night I went through before the competition. So yeah, see, I'm not satisfied with my performance because I've always done more than that, even in trial and in other competitions. I expect more out of myself, so that's the reason now this is going to keep me going till Paris.
So what is your next target? What target you have set for yourself?
My coach says that bronze is a perspective. You can always think of winning a silver and a gold, but a gold is a full stop. You don't have anything else to win after that. For me, of course, that is going to be the next target. But we have so many games coming up. We have Asian Games coming up, World Championships coming up. So there's so much of things that is happening, and especially with the COVID maybe under control, I think it will be back to normal soon. Otherwise, God forbid that something like that comes, and again we are doomed. But I hope it will happen. It's going to be an eventful year for most of the athletes, and especially after the booming of the para revolution right now. There's so many people that are going to take up the sport, and so many competition. It's going to be so entertaining. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for talking to us. So Sharad Kumar is focusing on the eventful year ahead, and he'll try his best to change the color of his medal, and we just hope that he succeeds in all his future endeavors. With cameraman Sumit, this is Suchitra, DD India, Delhi.
Well, that was Tokyo Paralympics bronze medalist Sharad Kumar sharing his experience, definitely wanting to go for gold next. Now there's more from the world of sports in our next segment, the Sports Wrap Up. Here's a look.
Cricket players Harbhajan Singh and Javagal Srinath have been awarded life membership of the Marylebone Cricket Club, joining 16 other cricketers who were given the honour this year. The MCC, based at Lords, is the custodian of cricket laws. Harbhajan and Srinath both enjoyed fine international careers. Harbhajan is India's third highest wicket taker in tests with 417 dismissals in 103 tests and more than 700 plus international wickets across formats. Srinath, currently an ICC Elite Panel match referee, is one of India's greatest fast bowlers with 315 ODI wickets and 236 test victims. Virat Kohli has added another feather to his hat. Team India skipper Virat Kohli's wax statue was unveiled by the Madame Tussauds Museum in Dubai ahead of the ICC Men's T20 World Cup 2021, which opened to the public last Thursday on October 14th. This marks the second wax statue for the Indian superstar, as the first was launched at the Lord's Cricket Ground in London ahead of the ICC Cricket World Cup 2019. India's most celebrated quizist Pankaj Advani neatly constructed a brilliant 121 points effort as he rallied splendidly from the loss of the opening two frames to prevail over Dhwaj Haria 4-2 and record his fourth successive win in the men's Y Camp first leg round-robin league matches of the World Snooker Qualifiers, a BSFI national selection tournament on Tuesday. Pius Jan became the world #1 in boys under-17 rankings released by the International Table Tennis Federation on Tuesday. The reigning national youth and junior champion surpassed his previous best of world #2 after winning 3 titles in auto chess, Tunis and Muscat this season. Even in the under-19 selection, Pius climbed to the 7th spot, a jump of 5 places from last week. Sports Desk, DD India.
Well, that's all in this edition of Sports Buzz. Until we meet again, please keep safe and do stay tuned into DD India for the latest news updates. Thanks for watching.